Hello, in this video we're going to be making a table like this from cheap and easily available materials. So the reasoning behind this is we've got a back garden here. It's a very nice place to sit here in the conservatory, and I would like somewhere to be able to sit and work at the computer. I've gone out and got the materials, which generally consist of 2 scaffold boards. These are of course very easy to find. You can get them from scaffolding suppliers or builders merchants, and they're pretty cheap. Then I've got 2 3-metre lengths of copper pipe, 28mm and 15mm, and I'm going to be using these to create the kind of supporting structure for the table. So I've been visualising the finished table and thinking about what we're going to be using it for. It's going to be used primarily for working from laptops, but also for eating from as well, so I want it to be comfortable for that. So I want it to be 2 boards wide, and I'm going to be following the contour of the inside section of this tiled area, so it's going to be the same shape as that wooden trim effectively. So I'm going to mark that out now, and then I can cut it with a reciprocating saw. Before I go any further with this, I want to fix these 2 sections together before I finish off all the corners and then treat the wood. So I'm going to be using stainless steel threaded rod for that. I'm just going to drill a hole in each side, and then I'm going to be drilling the hole 5mm. This is M6 stainless steel threaded rod, so I'll be able to hammer that home, but it won't want to come out again, and that will keep the 2 halves firmly together. That's the basic shape of this done. I'm not going too fine with it because I'm going for a kind of rustic look anyway. And now I'm going to burn this to kind of make it look a bit vintage, give it a bit of texture, and I'll show you what I do after that. There we go. That's all burnt now. You're probably thinking, oh my goodness Chris, what have you done? That looks awful. Give me time, I'm hoping it will look nice shortly. This is the kind of wire brush that you use for welding. I'm going to be treating this wood now with some Danish oil. So it says to use a lint-free cloth, which I don't have, but I do have a sock. So I'm going to be applying the Danish oil with a sock. This is what the wood looks like after 3 coats of Danish oil. So it's dried now. It doesn't leave any kind of oily residue on your hands. You don't get any black on your hands. And yeah, it kind of stops you from getting splinters too. So I think it's a really good product to use. These are the chairs we're going to be using for that table, and I've measured the table that they are currently used with. It's 75cm tall, so the table I'm making will also be 75cm tall. The table is 38mm thick, so I'm going to take this into account when looking at the design of the legs. The lengths of the table legs are going to work out really well with this 3-metre section of copper pipe that I've got. So this is 28mm by 0.9mm, standard copper 28mm plumbing pipe. And I'm now going to cut this pipe into 4 equal sections using a pipe cutter. I've just marked off 20mm from the end of each side of each section of tube, and I've drilled out 4 holes on each end, and I'm going to be using an angle grinder to create some little tabs which I can use then to secure the legs to the table and then the bottom of the legs to the floor. Okay, I've got the 4 legs on the corners there, and as I knew it would be, it is somewhat wobbly, which is why I've got the 15mm pipe here. This is going to be used to make bracing to stiffen up the table. So here we have the finished product. Since adding those extra sections of copper, this is nice and stable now, nice and solid. And I've had my breakfast here this morning, which was very nice. And yeah, the only other thing to do, which I shall await my wife, who is not in the country at the moment, when she gets back, I'm going to ask her opinion on what we should do with this copper in terms of treating it. We can leave it like this if we want to, just kind of rough as a finish, or I've got another section of copper pipe here just to show you. This is without any kind of treatment whatsoever. It's kind of normally tarnished, a little bit corroded, natural industrial looking type finish. Or if you want to spend 30 seconds with a little section of Scotch-Brite, you know, the kind of green pads that you get underneath your washing up sponges, then with a little bit of vinegar you can get it looking like that, nice and shiny. That will dull down eventually too, unless you protect it. You could varnish it if you wanted to keep it shiny, kind of copper colour, or you could just leave it and it'll kind of dull down, but it will all be uniform then, rather than being you know, different kind of handprints and stuff on it. So it's really, you know, there are lots of different options. I'll just leave it up to my wife what she wants to do. I think making an entire table without any input from her whatsoever is already enough of going out on a limb. So my wife will decide the finish for the copper pipes under there. I'm really happy with how this has turned out, the look of it. Of course, that's personal preference, but I like it. The question is it strong? Here's a quick real-time update on the table. We've had it a few weeks now, and I've got to say it's really changed our life, you know, here in this house, which sounds a bit dramatic, but it really has. We have our breakfast here every day, and we eat lunch here pretty much every day as well. So yeah, we spend a lot of time in here, which kind of brings us outdoors. So it's the summer here in the UK. It's 10 to 10 at night. It's very bright at night this time of year. But today has been a typical example of it's not been a very nice day outside. It's been a bit wet and windy, but because of this table we've been able to spend time in here where it kind of feels like you're outdoors, so you don't feel like you're cooped up in a house all day. So yeah, big hit. I'm very happy that my wife likes it, and yeah, very happy with the table. Let me know what you think about this in a comment. I'll be interested to read your thoughts, and if you've got any suggestions for improvements, then feel free to comment and help other people with their projects. I hope you found this helpful. Check out the other videos on my channel, and if you like what you see, then click that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, resist tyranny and love life.